Hello friends, my name is Raza Masood. Today we'll discuss about a topic, what is project scope statement. Friends, this is a very easy topic to understand and I want to talk about this topic in detail. This topic contains the basic concept of project scope statement, that what is a project scope statement. So if any student who is studying the project management, so it can be helpful for you, or if you are already planning to give an exam of a PMP, so this can be topic, this video can be very helpful for you in the exam, as per the exam point of view. We will discuss this topic in detail as per the definition of PMP, as per the definition of PMI. And if you are a project manager and already implementing projects, so this video can be very helpful for you. So let's start. We will discuss this topic in detail. So first of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well. So let's start. What is project scope statement? Friend, first of all, we have to see what is project. If I ask from you that what is project, as per the definition, as per the standard definition of PMI, project is a temporary and it gives you a unique service or product or result. If you just see the definition, it is temporary. Project is temporary. Temporary means that it has some starting point and ending points. It is not an ongoing task. It will not always be uh, uh, ongoing. It is temporary. Temporary means that it has some starting point, it has some ending point. After some time it will be finished, and it will always give you some unique output, unique product, unique result, unique output. So as per the definition, what is if you see that what is project scope statement, a project scope statement is useful tool to outline the project deliverable and identify the constraints, assumption and key success factors. The well written scope statement clearly defines the boundaries of a project. Before the project begins, the project team and the project stakeholders to agree to the scope statement before project execution. Friend, let me tell you that project scope statement means that whenever we are going to start a project, two parties or three parties basically they sit together and they see that what is the scope which needs to be delivered. For example, the contract has been signed and now project is going to start. So at this point of level, the scope statement will be decided between the parties, between the implementing parties. For example, the customer, the vendors, so they sit together and a high level scope, basic scope statement will be decided. That means that what is the scope which needs to be delivered, what is the objectives of the project, what are the constraints, what are the assumptions which needs to be delivered, what is the cost of a project. So all these things will be decided at this stage of a project. Try to remember one thing, this is not the scope document. This is, please try to understand the difference between a scope document and a scope statement. Scope document means a detailed scope which will be decided at some later stage. This is scope statement which decided at a very early stage. You can just imagine this as a Word document or Excel sheet in which the customer will describe you that this is our project. For example, they want to implement the for example the mobile app for banking solution for through which they can do the fund transfer to the beneficiaries, for example, just assume. So they will decide that this is the high level scope of a project, this is the cost, these are the output results, these are the expectation from the project. This is the cost. This is the these are the assumptions and constraints in the project. So all these things will be decided and agreed in the scope statement between the between the implementing stakeholders. And remember one thing, that scope statement decided at the time before starting the project execution. Okay, so this is called the project scope statement. Let me show you a very simple scope statement. Very simple scope statement. It looks like this. For example, project name prepared by date, project justification, project description, deliverables, out of scope. Out of a scope means these are the things which are not comes under this project scope. Project objectives, cost, schedule, acceptance criteria, constraints and assumptions. So I'm just showing you a very simple and a very high level scope statement. So friend, this is the scope statement look like this. Always I'm again trying to explain you that, remember one thing, this is not a scope document, this is a scope statement which defines, which decided at the time of before project execution. This decided between the customer and between the vendor. Now coming towards more about the detail, that the most important headings or the things which should be included in the scope statement is project scope description. This heading describes, this section describes the basic level of description of a scope, that what customer want for to implement. So it describes the basic definition and scope of a project. For example, if they want to implement a e-commerce solution, so it decide that what is the what they want in the e-commerce solution, what will be the feature, what they are expecting from the e-commerce solution. Project deliverables means a specific list of results produced by the project. For example, deliverables means, friend, for example, they are expecting that the testing will be it will provide you a complete list of deliverable here. For example, the when will the testing will be completed, UAT, production deployment, production rollout, production post production support. So all these types of deliverables, high level deliverables, will be defined here. Similarly, scope, detailed scope document, functional specification document, UAT sign offs. So the all detailed list of deliverables will be defined here. User acceptance criteria. User acceptance criteria means that what is the criteria that user will accept your deliverable. A list of critical success factors to accept the project deliverables. For example, user can say, customer can say, if all the critical issues in the UAT if solved, so they will sign off the they will sign off the user UAT phase. So this can be a user acceptance criteria. If all the issues in the SIT will be solved, so SIT will be considered as closed and SIT sign off will be provided. If all the issues in the if all the scope has been delivered successfully to customer, so they will provide at production, so the customer will provide you the final acceptance certificate. So all these types of things can be said as a user acceptance criteria. Project boundaries. See, project boundaries means it defines the it basically defines the scope, that what are the boundaries of a project, what they want to implement. For example, they are saying that they want to implement the e-commerce solution, and the customer can do the payment through only the credit card, and debit card payments are not required, for example. So this is called the boundaries of a project, which we can say this is a boundary. So this thing is required and these things are not required. Okay, now the second thing is constraints. Constraints mean, friend, the limitation which we can't do. For example, customer is saying that customer is saying that the e-commerce solution will be implemented only in the USA. It is not required to it is not required to be available in other countries. For example, this is our constraint, these are the limitations. For example, a customer says that the hardware can 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 be provided, can serve the user until to reach till 5000, cannot provide service more than 5000. For example, these are the limitation. Constraints means limitations. Next one is the project assumption. Project assumptions are the things which can be true, which can be false. Project assumption, let me give an example of project assumption. For example, you assume that when vendor reach at customer side, the net internet connectivity would be available. So this is the assumption. This can be true, this can be wrong, this can be true, this can be false. So these are the assumptions which all the types of assumptions should be mentioned in the scope statement. So friend, I have described, I have tried my level best to explain you the concept of scope statement in my level best, in my capacity. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video, and that's all from my side. Thank you. Thank you.